Victims of child sex abuse are calling on the Catholic Diocese of Sioux Falls to be more transparent in identifying and investigating predator priests.
They shared their heartbreaking stories of abuse at the hands of clergy today with the hope of finding justice and healing for themselves and other victims. KELOLAND's Perry Groten spoke to both the victims and the diocese about finding common ground and addressing these cases and moving forward.
Well, Angela and Brady, back in March, the Catholic Diocese of Sioux Falls released the names of 11 diocese priests who sexually abused children. But victims say that list should have included 25 more names, many of them priests from other religious orders who spent time in South Dakota. Victims also say the diocese wields too much influence in the criminal process.
Tim Lennon was 12 years old when he says his parish priest in Sioux City began molesting him.
Most horrific part was the violent, life-threatening rape that still affects me every day. But I have a great amount of fire and anger of what happened to me.
Now Lennon is channeling that fire and anger to advocate for other victims of clergy sex abuse, including those in South Dakota. He says the Sioux Falls Diocese has far too long been covering up for predator priests and their crimes.
Well, it's not for them to decide what is credible or not credible. It is up to the police and Child Protective Services to decide that, not the diocese. And as long as they set themselves as a middleman of deciding what is a crime or not a crime is wrong.
The chancellor of the diocese listened as the abuse survivors shared their stories.
The sins of abuse and the sins of omission are absolutely a part of this diocese's history, as we're finding all over, and that's terrible.
But Matt Althoff says the diocese has for 25 years followed a policy of background checks and training intended to keep children safe. He says allegations of abuse are now handled by the diocese within a matter of hours.
There have been numerous instances in my tenure as chancellor where concerns were brought forward. It was taken to law enforcement immediately. The person in question was set on the side, an investigation done by law enforcement. And this was, in all of these cases, this was within a 12-hour period.
But survivors say the abuse they suffered decades ago has shaken their faith in the church and those who oversee priests who prey on children.
Now, Tim Lennon, who's the president of the national group called Survivors Network of Those Abused by Priests, says the state of South Dakota needs to give abuse victims more time to file lawsuits. State law puts the cutoff at 40 years of age, but Lennon says the average victim doesn't come forward until their 50s. Now, Angela, you are also covering this story today, and you spoke to some victims as well.
Well, that's right, Perry. We're looking at allegations from Native American boarding schools. The victims say they were abused by Catholic priests, nuns, and even lay people, and are still waiting for some kind of resolution. Now, the statute of limitations has expired, and the names of their abusers were never released. We'll hear from two sisters who are still dealing with the aftermath of that abuse tonight on KELOLAND News at 6.